I guess if you had like a suggestion for someone that maybe they didn't get to scout some property in the spring that they wanted to, or whatever the case may be, and you had to go in during the summertime, is there anything you do different, or um, how would you go about scouting when it's the growth is up and maybe the sign isn't so um, it doesn't kick you in the butt and all that kind of stuff. I guess, what are your thoughts on that, or do you have any suggestions?
You know, uh, let me start it out with a statement before I answer it.
That's
That
fine.
um, the overall majority of my very biggest bucks were located in the summer, either glassing or shining. So finding an actual animal to hunt and seeing it is probably far more important than your spring scouting. I mean, it goes kind of hand in hand. If you see it someplace where you've got the land scouted, the bedding and stuff, it makes things a little easier. But generally, the very, very biggest bucks I've shot in come from some place that I haven't pre-scouted because it's so obscure that you wouldn't think a deer would be there, is why they're there. And you find them in these places, and then once you know where they're at, you hunt them down and kill them. Now, it's not always that easy. My biggest buck I found in July, shining, and it took me 2 seasons to kill him, and he had shifted over quite a bit. And I didn't kill him where I shined him. I killed him about maybe a half mile into the woods from where I shined him, on the other side of the road, so the opposite direction. But it put me in that area. It put me into finding that buck. Now the biggest bow kill I got, that one I caught on a ridge in the summer glassing. Saw where he was. I had gotten some intel that somebody had gotten a really big buck on trail cam, and the person showed me the picture, and I knew where he hunted, and it was someplace that I had been. So then I started concentrating in that area, and once I got that thing in my glasses, then I knew for sure it existed, that I wasn't being told a fib about where it came from and all that kind of crap,
Right.
So now I know. And then that deer I actually killed right exactly where I glassed it from. He was living in an oxbow, and several of them bucks I found that way. It takes a lot of energy during the summer to go, walk around with binoculars, to go, like me and Jacob were talking about, sitting on remote fields you can't see from the road during the summer. And he wanted to go up and he wanted to shine these fields. And I'm like, well, that's a little obtrusive. And you can only see so far with a spotlight. Use a spotlight in a car because you can cover a long distance, a lot of fields in a
Right.
short amount of time. But really, a spotlight, you can only see out so far. There's often you see a deer and you're like, you can't tell how big it is, even with really good optics, because all you see is glowing eyes coming back at you.
Right.
You have to be somewhat close. But if you can get, in June, July, and August, you can really get on giant bucks in daylight by just watching the wind, watching that you're not going into a spot where the bucks are going to go, but you can see. Take a spotting scope with you, some binoculars, maybe one of the things that blows it up on your phone, and you can, look at it, but so that you can see what's out there. But I really like June for locating deer, which is coming up really quick here in
Yeah.
corn.
Next week.
They seem to hit corn really well in June for some reason. And the corn is only like, probably into late June when
Yeah.
corn is a little over knee high. Those bucks are higher than that. And then they're starting to form a rack. They don't have all their points yet or anything, but you can tell if they're going to be 20 inches wide. You can see the mass. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
locating those bucks then, I mean, now there's always the argument that, the bucks are there in the summer, they're going to winter someplace else. Some do. So keep following them, find where they moved. But some don't. Some of them I kill exactly where I see them. Some of them I kill 100 yards from there, and some of them you never see again. But it's worth the effort because that's where I've killed my biggest bucks.